So, despite the fact that there's a lot going on with Manchester United and a whole lot of things, Manchester United have recorded or they've announced record-breaking figures for the 2024-25 account. So record-breaking revenues and stuff. This has happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. It was trending. Manchester United's accounts have been released, and the latest financial loss is substantially smaller than the previous 12 months. So we're going to talk about what some of the reports are saying. So, according to Nathan Salt, Manchester United's 24-25 financials have been released. Broadcasting revenue is £172 million, £172.9 million, down by 48.9 million. Not so bad. Matchday revenue is £160.3 million, which has been up by 23.2 million pounds. Operating cost is £773.6 million, down by 34.9 million pounds. So we've taken down the operating cost. There'll be better explanation to all of this. Then employee benefit expenses, £313.2 million, down by 51.5 million pounds. Commercial revenue, £333.3 million, up by 30.4 million pounds. So there is multiple ways to go about it. But this was what Omar Berada had to say about the record revenues. So Omar Berada, because Manchester United released the record revenue of £666.5 million, and Omar Berada said this on that £660.5 million. On the field, we are pleased with the additions we have made to our men's and women's first team squads over the summer as we build for the long term. Off the field, we are emerging from a period of structural and leadership change with a refreshed, streamlined organization equipped to deliver on our sporting commercial objectives. To have generated record revenues during such a challenging year for the club demonstrates the resilience, which is, a hallmark of Manchester United. He said also that as we start to feel the benefit of our cost reduction program, there is a significant potential for improved financial performance, which will in turn support our overriding priority, success on the pitch. Furthermore, on the whole thing, Kieran Maguire also made a comment on it. He said, on the 24-25 season finances, he said, I think there's two things. First of all, big losses we saw at Old Trafford in 2024, they were down by 130 million to 40 million, so that's a step in the right direction. So that's kind of like further breakdown to all of these things that we've been hearing and seeing. The wages that United players are on, partly due to not playing bonuses. Manchester United have a very incentivized wage system, and that won't have kicked in due to poor league finish last season and not winning the Europa League. These are the good things. Now, that's not good. That's not so good thing. Now, the not so good things is that United have to borrow a lot more money again, or had to borrow a lot more money again last year. So we are looking at levels of debt not seen for around 15 years. Hopefully, we are close to the peak of that, unless the club's going to borrow to build a new stadium. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe saying Man United could have been out of cash at the end of the year was more of a PR exercise. United were stunned by the criticism by fans of their cost-cutting measures, so they wanted a line to justify it. Running out of cash was never going to realistically be the case. So I can understand this part by Kieran Maguire talking about running out of cash and stuff. The idea behind it is more like, the money that we have might not be enough. But yeah, so let's kind of read the reports, because Manchester United published the 24-25 balance sheet, and it reveals that a club record of £660.5 million, that's $909.5 million revenue for the season, but still a net loss of £33 million. By comparison, is significantly less than 2023-24 season's 113.2 million net loss, and therefore an important step forward when it comes to complying with PSR and other financial regulations. While broadcasting revenue and all of those things that I read to you fell by 22%, that's for broadcasting revenue attributed to the club playing in Europa League rather than Champions League, as had been the case in 22-24. Commercial and matchday revenues went up by 10% and 17% respectively. Then, remarkably, that came against the background of United's worst season on the pitch in 51 years, finishing 15th in the Premier League amid enormous changes at Old Trafford. To have generated record revenues during such a challenging year for the club demonstrates the resilience which is a hallmark of Manchester United. This is according to Omar Berrada. Yeah, so basically, operating costs fell by 35%, as I said. And then the annual cost of amortization, that's the process by which transfers are divided over the length of the player's contract, was 196.4 million. And as of June 30, 2025, United owed an outstanding of 537.3 million pounds in unamortized balance of registrations. Costs related to dismissing Eric Ten Hag and his staff in October contribute to exceptional expenses totaling 36.6 million pounds. For 25-26 season, United are predicting another healthy revenue to hit between 640 to 660 million, despite having no pending income from any UEFA competition. So yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on on things. I'm not a financial expert, but just from the over the top of my head or off the top of my head, I can tell that there's some revenues that have been generated, but then you can also think of it from the perspective of the other accounts that are involved in all of this, in running Manchester United, has been more of a situation where there's losses there, but then the other aspects of the financials shows that there's profits, especially with the Snapdragon deal that we got as well. So it was good to see, but yeah, but these are some of the positives that we can say from everything that we've seen. These are some of the positives. So if we're breaking it into like the nitty-gritties of the financials, the reported revenue for the fiscal year ending June 30 represents a slight increase in 0.7% of the 661.8 million recorded in the previous year. This record revenue was achieved despite the men's team Forest League finish. So you can see multiple reports and all of that. Key details which I already brought down to you, but despite the record revenue, the club still incurred an overall 33 million, like I just said, for the year ended June 30, 2025, and this was attributed to high operating costs, which reached 733.6 million, exceeding revenue for the year. However, the net loss significantly improved by 113.2 million. As I said, we're just checking multiple reports as to what they say. Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has initiated various cost-cutting measures, including redundancies, since assuming control of day-to-day operations in early 2024. Manchester United shares dropped following the announcement of the results, but rebounded slightly. The club is forecasting revenues of £640 million and £660 million for the year 25-26 fiscal year, and despite the absence of European football. So basically, it's just that the numbers tell that we're making good progress off the pitch. Now, it remains to be seen what progress we're going to make on the pitch. But let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section about this whole record revenues and all of that. We can always talk about it. We can always even have further research and do a breakdown. But if it is something that needs to be, but there's a whole lot going on right now. Manchester United, I can hardly catch a break. I've released an episode on multiple things that are going to appear on the channel. You'll see them. When you see them, please do like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well. Like this video so that we get, the algorithm can favor us and we can, get more people to have important conversations in this community. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.